Hey folks, Sheila here from Design Files. I just wanted to pop on quickly to let you know that you can now accept credit card payments for any of the invoices that you create within your Design Files account. So I thought I'd put together a quick video and show you exactly how that works. Now, if you haven't created an invoice in Design Files yet, it's really quick and easy to do. All you have to do is go to the project that you want to send the invoice out for, and at the top of the page, you're going to see an option that says Invoices. Just click on that. Now that's going to take you directly to the invoice overview page, and this page will list any other invoices that you've already sent out to this client. You'll see which ones have been submitted and which ones have been paid and the date they were paid on. And if you want to create a new invoice, just click this button right here. That'll take you directly into the template where you can start adding in all of your details. So you can start by including the client that you want to send this invoice to. You can add in your invoice ID, your issue date, the terms for payment. So if you want to be paid within 30 days, just set the net to 30. And then you can add in the appropriate tax amount for this particular client project, which is usually based on the state or the province that they're living in. Add in their address. And when you're done with that, you can start adding products to your invoice. So you're going to do that by clicking this button right here that says Add Product. And it's going to bring up a panel that will include every single product that you added to this particular project. And you can search for specific items by either narrowing it down by vendor or by using the keyword search here. So if you want to search by the product name or tag, you can do that. And the best option is probably right over here. Because if you've been using the approve and reject feature on Design Files to allow your clients to approve items for order, you can then narrow it down to every single approved product here. Now that's going to give you a nice curated list of all the items that your client has already given you the go-ahead on. You can start adding individual items here, or if you want to add all of the approved items to this invoice, just click this checkbox up here. It'll select every one of them, and then you can add all of the items all at once directly to your invoice. Now you'll see that each item has been added as its own separate line item within this invoice. So you'll see a picture of the product name. There is a field here for notes. So if you did want to indicate the specific fabric or finish that you are suggesting for your client, you can add that in here. There's also the price field. So this will be the price for the product, the quantities needed. If you're including your markup, you can include it here, and our system will automatically calculate the client-facing price. Now, when you send this invoice off to your client, they'll never see the markup and they'll never see the original trade price that you could get the product at. They'll only see the client-facing price. Now, you already indicated up here what the appropriate tax was for this project. So if you want that tax amount added to each and every item in your invoice, just click this checkbox right here and it'll automatically add it to each and every item. And there's also a column for shipping costs as well. So if you need to include shipping costs for any of the items, you can go ahead and add it in. And if you scroll down to the bottom of your invoice, you'll see your subtotal, your taxes, your shipping costs, and your grand total. Now, if you want to be able to add in an item to your invoice that is not a product, maybe it's your design hours, or maybe you charge a flat rate for your floor plan images, what you can do is you can add a manual line item here. So you can click on that. You do have the option to include an image if you want to. And then you can just type out what that particular line item might be. So maybe it's design hours. You can add in your hourly rate, add in the number of hours that you spent on this particular project. Click this checkbox right here to make sure that you get taxes added in to your hourly rate as well. And then everything will be calculated out for you. Now, further down, we've got a field here where you can add any final notes that you want your client to see. It could be a case where you might want to get paid through a PayPal account, or maybe you want to get paid by direct deposit and you just need to include the information they need to make that payment. So you can do that, or you can choose to allow your client to pay by credit card using this step right here. Now, if you want your client to pay by credit card, just make sure this toggle is turned on. You'll know that it's turned on because it's going to show as green. If it's turned off, it shows as gray. So just turn it on for any invoice where you want your client to pay by credit card. Now we're going to be using Stripe as our payment processor. So if you've already set up your Stripe account and your design packages and your Design Files account, you're good to go. If you don't currently have a Stripe account set up, you'll be prompted to do that here. And it's really quick and easy to do. You'll just jump over to Stripe, you're going to fill out a one-pager with all of your banking information, and that information is completely secure on Stripe. We don't have access to it. But once you've completed that step, you'll be able to then start accepting credit card payments for any of the invoices that you choose to send out. Now just know that Stripe does charge a 2.9% and 30 cents on the transaction. Now when you have everything ready, you can go ahead and you can save your invoice as a draft and you can preview it. And this will show you exactly what your client is going to see. So they'll see your logo, the invoice details, the contact details for both you and the client, and the full breakdown for every item that you have included within this invoice. Down here, they've got a button right here where they can just automatically go ahead and pay with their credit card. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to jump out, or I'll log out. No, before I do this, actually, we first have to send this invoice out to the client. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to exit this preview and I'll go back to the invoice template down here and I'm going to send this invoice to the client. So by clicking this button right here, it's going to open up this panel. You can add in any particular message you want. I'm just going to add in a simple message here, a test one. And when you click this button to send this invoice out to your client, what will happen is DesignFiles is automatically going to send an email directly to your client that will give them a link where they can log in, preview the invoice, and pay for it. So we'll send this. And okay, perfect. So now we've got our confirmation saying that the invoice was in fact sent. So now what I'll do is I'm going to log out as a designer and I'll log back in as a client so you can see what your clients will see. Okay, so here I am as a client. I've gone into my inbox and I received this email from my designer saying that I could basically just click here to view and pay for my invoice online. And I can also use this button down here as well. So I'll click on that. It's going to bring me directly to the branded login page, so I can just enter in my login credentials. And once logged in, it's going to bring me directly to the actual invoice. So as a client, I can just quickly go through the invoice. I can see the full breakdown for each of the items, the individual price of each. And as I scroll down, I've got my grand total, including my shipping and my taxes. So if I'm ready, I can just go ahead and pay with credit card by clicking this button right here. And it's going to open up the panel where I can include my credit card details and my shipping address. And when I complete this purchase, I'm going to get a confirmation message that basically says that this invoice has now been paid for. So as a client, I can always download this particular invoice and keep it for my records if I need to for any accounting purposes. And on your end as a designer, you're also going to see this invoice as paid now. So it'll show the exact date that it was paid on, and you'll also get a confirmation message from Stripe indicating that the payment was a success. So there you have it. Giving your clients the opportunity to pay online makes it quick and easy on them, and it also ensures that you get paid faster. So log into your DesignFiles account and just test it out and let us know what you think. And as always, thanks so much for watching.